Hey there, and welcome to day 6 of our 7-day nervous system reset program. I hope that you are ready for some play on your mat today. No matter what age you are, play is super important for your overall physical, mental, and emotional health. Play invites joy, curiosity, and creativity into the mind and body. So my invitation for you is to come to your mat today with an open mind and an open heart. Be open to playing, exploring, having fun, letting go, dropping all expectations, letting go of what maybe the pose should look like or the movement should look like, and instead go inward and just feel it out in your body. Ask yourself, does this feel good? Does this feel like play? Am I having fun? So for today's practice, I invite you to bring a blanket or a pillow to your space. A really nice to have item is a yoga block. And without further ado, let's play. Join me on your mat, standing tall. Walk your feet wider than hip distance apart. Allow your toes to turn out slightly and find a soft bend in your knees. Allow your arms to relax at your sides. And I invite you to explore a gentle sway from side to side, keeping your feet relatively still for the moment. Notice the air on your hands and your arms as you sway from right to left. And now I invite you to start picking up the pace. Maybe as you do this, you begin to connect breath to action. So breathing in as you twist to one side, and then breathing out on the other side. And now, begin to integrate your lower body into this movement, perhaps bending at your knees even more, lifting parts of your feet away from the ground. Maybe you even walk your feet out wider to give yourself a little more space. Notice how your whole body joins in to support you in this movement. And now you may be ready to move on to the next thing, but please hang with me. I now invite you to continue this action as you walk around on your mat. How slow or quick you decide to walk is totally up to you. This is your playtime. As you move, I invite you to notice whether your breathing pattern has changed. And I invite you to notice what thoughts or emotions are coming to the surface. All right, begin to slow it down until you eventually find stillness on your mat. Observe the sensations flowing through your body. Okay, walk your feet underneath your hips with your toes pointing forward. As you breathe in, really take up space with your arms and your hands as you slowly float your hands to the sky. Breathe out to relax your shoulders down. Imagine that you are holding onto a big beach ball overhead. The size of the beach ball is up to you. What colors do you see on your beach ball? Breathe in, filling your torso with fresh oxygen. And breathe out. Bend at your elbows and then place your right palm on your left elbow and your left palm on your right elbow. Take a nourishing breath in, and then on your breath out, tilt over towards the left side. So stretching into the right side body, notice your foot to earth connection. Are both feet showing up equally? Continue drawing your left elbow down and then forward until you find yourself in a standing forward fold. Bend at your knees to offer a gentle release to your lower back. Now allow your right elbow to lead the way as you eventually make your way back to an upright position. So we're coming back to our starting point. Lovely. I invite you to continue these circles, moving at a pace that feels good for your body. And feel free to hold a stretch for longer if that feels good. This practice encourages you to find what feels good in your body. Bringing a playful attitude to the mat can be very useful in accomplishing this, as we don't take things too seriously. So give yourself permission to explore and play. And feel free to reverse your circle at any time if that feels good. See if you can play around with integrating your breath into this movement. All right, wherever you are, I invite you to make your way to an upright position with your hands reaching overhead. Take a breath in through your nose, and then on your breath out, imagine that your fingers have transformed into rain droplets or snowflakes as you slowly wiggle your fingers down to your sides. Maintain a soft bend in your knees as you send your arms from left to right. Our next posture will test our balance, so feel free to use a wall or a piece of furniture for support. Engage your core, lengthen your tailbone down, and hug your belly button and low ribs in towards your spine. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, lift your right foot off of the ground and send your right leg to the side. Maybe you tip your left hand down closer towards the ground, and then the rest of your body will follow. I like to call this the tipping star. I find that balancing poses have a great way of evoking a playful energy within us, as it really encourages us to remain present in mind and body. We can access joy more readily when we are present. Okay, lower your right foot back to the ground, and let's check it out on the other side now. Maybe you play around with lowering your right hand closer towards the ground, allowing the rest of your body to follow this movement. Maybe you play around with lifting and lowering your left leg. If you happen to fall out of the posture, it's all good. I remember how many times I practiced doing a handstand as a kid, and I was constantly falling out of it. But that didn't stop me from trying and laughing it off when I did fall out of the pose. Okay, release your left foot to the ground and then place your hands on your hips. Draw your elbows back as you open up through your chest. Explore a gentle lift in your chest and your chin. Show me your most powerful superhero stance. Really feel your feet on the ground. Sense how strong and sturdy your legs are. Feel that strength ripple up to your pelvis and then to your core. Feel a sense of lightness radiating out from your chest as you breathe in and out. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in And now a loud, audible exhale through your mouth. Let it go. With your feet under your hips and your toes pointing forward, lift your right heel away from your mat. Notice if one hip is sitting higher than the other. Can you make an adjustment here so that way they are on the same plane? Find a small bend in your left knee as you begin to lift your right foot away from the ground. Imagine that there's a string attached to your right thigh. With your right hand, take hold of your right ankle and then place the sole of your right foot on your left inner thigh, calf muscle, or rest your toes on the ground and allow your right heel to rest on your left ankle. Open your right knee to the side. Hug your belly button in towards your spine as you reach up through the crown of your head. As you breathe in, slowly send your hands to the sky. Breathe out to relax your shoulders down. In your tree pose, I invite you to visualize your feet as roots, your legs and torso are the tree trunk, your arms are the branches, and your hands are the leaves. Now, imagine that there's a gentle wind creating movement in your tree. Maybe the wind becomes stronger with time. All right, the wind is gone and we can explore stillness. Take a breath in here. And then breathe out to lower and release your right foot to the ground. Lower your arms to your sides. And then shake out your left leg for a moment. Okay, let's explore the other side now. So begin to peel your left heel away from the ground. Check in with your hips. Press out of your foundation as you lift your left foot away from the ground. Your left hand takes hold of your left ankle as you open your left knee to the side. Place the sole of your foot on your inner right thigh, calf muscle, or allow your toes to rest on the ground. On your own time and with your breath, send your hands to the sky. Once again, I invite you to tap into a little playful energy as you explore gentle sway from side to side. And maybe there is no wind this time, so you can play around with really reaching your hands towards the sky, spreading through your fingers to send energy well beyond your fingertips. Take a breath in through your nose, and on your breath out, lower your left foot to the ground and then release your hands to your sides. Give your right leg a little shake. Okay, explore stillness. If you are not already there, I invite you to stand near the middle of your mat, facing towards one of the long edges of your mat. Send your arms from left to right, and then step your feet wide so that way they are under your wrist points. Turn your toes in slightly, allowing your heels to point out. Observe whether the outer edges of your feet are lifting away from your mat. Can you deepen your foot to earth connection here? Explore a soft bend in your knees. Breathe in as you draw your pinkies back a bit. And then on your breath out, begin to hinge forward at your hips, sending your bum back in space, and the crown of your head reaches forward, stopping at the halfway point. Take a breath in here, and then breathe out to continue your journey, releasing your fingertips or your hands to the ground. The crown of your head reaches towards the ground. Notice if more weight is being placed in the balls of your feet now. Can you shift your weight a little bit more towards your heels? So there is an option to stay here, or you can play around with spider crawling your fingertips to or towards the top of your left foot, and then take it over to the right foot. I invite you to continue moving from right to left, breathing into the backs of your legs and your spine as you do this. Okay, walk your hands back to center, and then walk your hands forward a bit, so that way your wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. Root down through your feet, connect to your center as you bring your hands to your hips, and then lift your torso to the halfway point. Take a breath in here, and on your breath out, very slowly, rise up. All right, let's heel toe, the feet back together. Take your time so that way you can really feel the mat beneath the soles of your feet. Now, step to the top of your mat. As you breathe in, float your hands to the sky. And as you breathe out, imagine that you are diving off of a diving board as you fold forward. Plant your palms on your mat and then step or hop it back to a high plank. Bring your right knee in and then step it back. Bring your left knee in and then step it back. Continue this action alternating between right and left knee for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees to the ground. Feel free to pad your knees with a pillow or a folded blanket. A yoga block is a nice to have item for our next pose, so kindly have it within arm's reach. Bring your big toes together and then walk your knees towards the long edges of your mat. Walk your hands forward as you sit back towards your heels. Take a loving breath in through your nose. And on your breath out, release your heart space and your forehead to or towards the earth. Feel free to place a yoga block under your forehead if you would appreciate the extra lift. Soften through your shoulders, your arms, and your fingertips. Allow your breath to encourage a softening of your back body. We are going to explore a breathing technique together called bee breath or humming breath. For this breath technique, we breathe in through the nose, filling the lungs with air, and then on the breath out, the face remains soft, lips are closed, and we make a buzzing or a humming sound from the nasal area until you feel the need to take another breath. All right, let's give it a go. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out to make a buzzing sound. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out, bee breath. So I invite you to continue exploring bee breath for a few more rounds. And as you do this, I invite you to notice the sensations that you may feel in your face and your throat. All right, one more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Wonderful. Breathe in as you normally would, and breathe out. Press into all that's touching the earth. Hug your belly button in towards your spine, and then press up to all fours. Place your yoga block to the side of your mat if you were using one. Find a tabletop position, so walking your knees underneath your hip points, your shins are parallel to each other, wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. Now find some organic movement throughout your spine. Perhaps you explore creating a wave-like motion throughout your spine. Maybe you pretend that your torso is like a jump rope, so you're moving in a circle. The beauty of this is that there's no right or wrong. You get to decide what would feel best for you here. What feels good in my body may be different from yours. So the suggestions that I offer are just that. They are suggestions. You can take it or leave it. All right, explore stillness. Swing your legs to one side and then sit on your mat, somewhere near the middle. Place any remaining items that are on your mat off to the side. Now place the soles of your feet on your mat, about hip distance apart. Gently place your hands on your hamstrings. Explore finding length through your back body, so hugging your belly button in towards your spine and lifting up through your sternum. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, lean back. There's an option to keep your toes on the ground, or you can lift your feet away from the ground, lifting your shins so that way they're parallel to the sky. There is an option to stay here, or you can reach your arms forward. Wherever you've landed, I invite you to tap into a little playful imagery. Imagine that you have a paddle in your hand. Yep, you probably guessed it. We are going to row our boat. So moving your paddle to the right and then over to the left. I invite you to let go of what this looks like. Just have some fun with it. And feel free to lower your feet down to the ground at any point. Make your way back to center. Breathe in. Breathe out to release. Lower your feet to the ground. Rest your forearms on your knees and bow your head. Take a nourishing breath in and breathe out through your mouth. Lift your head and then send your legs out long. Point through your feet and reach your hands forward. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, very slowly, lower your back body to the earth. Bring your attention to your core muscles and how they offer support during this transition. And if you release on your back way quicker than you wanted to, you can try this movement all over again, or you can laugh it off, or just having some fun. And once you are there, I invite you to take a full body stretch. Just feel it out. Release your arms to your sides. Connect to your center as you hug your knees in towards your chest, one at a time. Open your knees to the sides. Connect to your center, and then lift your head and your shoulders away from the ground as your hands take hold of the outer edges of your feet or your inner arches. Release your upper back and your head to the ground. There's an option to stay here, or you can send the soles of your feet towards the sky, keeping a generous bend in your knees. Allow your hands to press into your feet, and your feet will press back. Lengthen through your tailbone, and finally, an invitation to smile. Happy Baby can evoke feelings of joy and play, as this is a shape that we likely explored as an infant. So just play here, maybe straightening through one leg at a time, or rocking from side to side. You can always explore this pose with one leg in the air while keeping the other foot on the ground. And a kind reminder to bring your sweet breath as you play. All right, release your feet and then bring your legs in. Direct your feet towards the sky, so extending through your legs. You can keep a small to generous bend in your knees. Reach your hands up towards the sky. So we are in this dead bug position. Now, let's shake the legs and the arms. You can start off really slow and then gradually increase the tempo. Yes, this may feel silly, and yes, we may look silly, but hey, this is play. Play invites us to let go of what we should be doing or how we should be. Allow yourself to just be in the moment. Laugh, giggle, get silly as we shake and release. And now, let's slow it down and eventually stop. Amazing job, my friend. Now release your feet to your mat and allow your arms to relax at your sides. Close your eyes as you take note of the sensations flowing through you. Take a breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Roll over to one side and then press yourself up to a seat on your mat. Begin to rub your hands together really fast. Create some heat and friction between your palms. And then when your hands feel warm enough, place your palms on your heart space. Breathe in. Breathe out to bow your head. I invite you to notice how you feel. This could be energetically, emotionally, physically, mentally. Notice if you allowed yourself to let go and just play on your mat, or if there was some uneasiness or hesitation. Maybe some thoughts around, am I doing this right? I ask these questions to give you an opportunity to investigate without passing judgment. We can use these learnings on the mat and take them with us into our daily lives. Thank you so much for making time to play today. Let's take one final breath in through the nose together. And then breathe out through your mouth. I'll see you tomorrow for our final day of our 7-day nervous system reset program. Sending lots of love and light to you. We close our practice by saying thank you or namaste.